Apologies, the stream crashes. If that happened, then a surprise attack is off the table. In order to avoid this scenario, she turned herself into a machine. An automaton that only followed the orders she laid out in advance, unthinking, unswerving. She'll mechanically advance on the blind spot that will spell Ruan's inevitable death. Through detection magecraft, she can sense what's going on around her. Rua lies in wait in the gym, surrounded by the vast number of magicraft formulas he scribed. Harquid is moving toward the gym through the connecting hallway. Sparkle crackles across the concrete face of the building. It's odd, the magical energy that Roa has kept in store up until now. He's jogging for supremacy with Harquid's own magical energy. If Sia hadn't sealed off her thoughts, he would have reminded her of above their gag. The concentration of magical energy is almost electric, and even the slightest movement could set off a reaction that would blow an intruder sky high. Will Tonoshiki make his way through there? Even a foe like that won't present itself now. She's nothing more than a killing machine, making her way from the courtyard to the rooftop. But even the appearance of Ra himself will be enough to shock her out of her trance. In addition, over there is something that makes her doubt her own eyes, a ghoulish herald of death. The abnormal creature clings to the wall. Even for Ciel, who has dispatched countless death apostle and other monster, this grotesque beast is something she has never heard of, let alone seen. His outer skin is hard as bark, yet still as supple as leather. His abdomen is bloated and misshaped. From his protrude 6 legs, claws and tusks like those of a colossal dinosaur just from the lump of his right shoulder. His lower body resembles a spider, but his upper body looks almost human. That said, the white eyes give off a distinctly spider-like impression. But what's most bizarre of all, is the murky jumbled consciousness being given off that aberration, which you can pin down as either hostility or outright bloodlust. Faced by it, she sends a murderous impulse strong enough to make one curl up and accept death. Faced by it, she senses hostility so extreme that goosebumps break out all over her body. But she has never run across a consciousness like this before. She has no way to analyze it. This thing probably means even written of in the church documents. No ordinary human can fathom the origin of such a consciousness. A reminder of an oil painting from a certain renowned artist. A single-minded depiction of a city enveloped by the blue gloom of night, daubed over with the moon and stars. It's as if she'd been transported to an entirely different dimension. Without realizing it, Seal begins breathing again. All thoughts relating to Roa, Shishki, and Arquid vanish from her mind. The only thing that fills her now is primordial fear. A very human fear. The sort of a girl would naturally have before she learned of the existence of monsters, before she became an executor. Namely, an unbearable revulsion of creepy things. The school building shudders and shakes. A steel frame groans under the street, stress caused by the magical energy that filled the air detonating in a chain reaction. This isn't the work of that creature. It's the start of the fight between Arquid and Roa. She was only a few seconds too slow, but it cost her dearly. Realizing that she lost her chance to assassinate Roa, she immediately switches gears, focusing on her new target. It lunges. It isn't clear whether the creature is a bug or a beast, but its 3-meter-long body comes skittering across the face of the building all the same. The shaking of the building doesn't seem to phase it at all. Now only 8 meters away, the unknown monster aims its collection of disgusting arms at Seal. The arm lash out black whips. Recognizing the stench they gives off as the death of a dead apostle, Seal managed to regain her composure. Dara must have stationed her to stand guard against her. It makes complete sense when you think about it. Still standing on the ground, Seal takes stock of the enormous skull clinging to the wall. Although its entire body bristles with lethal weapons, there are only two that deserve special attention. The tusk sprouting from the lump on his shoulders and his enormous left arm. The tusks on his shoulders are intended for close combat. Instead, they are most certainly, as she suspected, they are missiles designed to shoot prey from a distance. As a projectile, their massive scores a direct hit on her at speed. Her body will be smashed to smithereens. Even she darts upward and away, the arms continue their single-minded pursuit. Entirely unperturbed by the hail of blows raining down around her, the executor leaps away to the rooftop in the span of a single breath. The enormous gull comes scurrying for the rooftop in pursuit. His 6 legs send his glowing across the ground, just as smoothly as he had scaled the face of the building.
サイズの割には素早いようですが。
As she studies movement, she begins to piece together their plan of attack. The enormous gull is like a mobile artillery platform. Its elastic right arm, along with the tusk that protrude from his shoulder, the next volley of which is already beginning to grow back, must be its forward-firing weapon. A body tailored to excel at long-range warfare. However, that doesn't necessarily mean he's weak when it comes to close combat. If she were to rush into attack it head-on, the gigantic left arm will steamroll any defense she might be able to master.
もっとも。
That will only happen if you can hit her. The enormous left arm goes against the entire concept of the goal. It throws the whole body off balance, and actually end up hindering some movement. If the left arm had been identical to its right, it would have been for a much sturdier mobile fortress. It might even be able to corner seal with its long-range offensive. Its arm moves out, utter once more. Dodging of them by a hairbreadth, the executor continued to surge forward. The fear that had gripped her moments ago has vanished completely. She might be still being dark about the true nature of the origin of this enemy, but she at least managed to get a handle of his fighting capabilities. Even though it's an entirely novel threat, there is nothing to suggest he's capable of taking her down. There is no risk that she'll be loose to the goal. She has complete confidence that the armament she has on her are more than sufficient to exterminate it. If there is a problem, it will be...
時間。
The enemy is wholly unknown. His abilities rival those of a higher-ranked dead apostles. Taking all that into account, it seems unlikely that it's all die after all 1 or 2 judgments. Just how long it will take to kill it so utterly that it can no longer regenerate.
10分。それ以上は使えない。
The Executor Magecraft scorches the ghost's body. Despite taking a lightning strike that would have obliterated the body of even the largest of animal head-on, the ghoul leaps backward and continues to engage in battle with the Executor. The Executor grits her teeth as it becomes clear that the ghoul is tougher than it looks. Her attack is only gain a smaller way towards fully killing this enemy. As of now, she has no way of knowing just how her action will affect the outcome of what happened here tonight. Inside of the school is pockmark and crate rate. It's like a small typhoon swept through the halls, starting at the bottom and working its way up. Tsukihime A speed through the city at breakneck pace, but it still wasn't enough to catch up with Arquid. Her battle with Ura has already begun. I ran down the hallway. The erratic sound of destruction echoed in the distance, and a cold smell burning in the air. My consciousness attempted to retreat with every step that it take. I clenched my fist as I tried to keep a hold of myself. My fingernails dig into the palms of my hand, and I used that pain to spur my body onwards. I'll happily destroy my left hand with my own nail if it means I can keep my body moving. I only need that one working hand to carry my knife. I reach the end of the hallway and rush up the stairs. The sounds are getting louder. They're probably coming from the third floor. It's almost cock. If I make it in time, we still have a chance. Arquid knows about my eyes, and she's calm and rational thinker on the battlefield. Once she knew I'm here, she let me make full of use of my abilities. She'll defend, and I'll attack. Same way we planned it against Glove. So long as she's able to pin Roll down, I'll take care of the rest. No matter what happens, no matter what the risk, I'll break through. That's why I can stop her. I reached the third floor. The trail of destruction curved across the walls, continues on down the corridor. All the way down to the walkway that connects the two school buildings together. Forcing my faltering leg to move, I sprint down the corridor. I reach the end of the corridor, but it angles off to join the whole walkway. What I find there is a battle in its final moments. Within that walkway, two figures confronting each other at conscious distance. On the first side of the walkway stands Roa, loitering with an air of relaxed assurance. In the center of the walkway is Arquid, slumped to her knees, her breathing heavy and erratic. But who is this person? This is the Arquid I know at all. Far from it. Thick black lines nick across the entire body. She seems utterly drained, and her body is on the verge of collapse. It's like she's already as one foot in the grave. She's now only a shadow of the beautiful flower I saw in the penthouse hotel from the night. I rush in. I don't give a shit about her anymore. I don't care what kind of traps might await me in this walkway. I just sprint towards Arquid as fast as I physically able. But before I get very far, she looks eyes with it. Still on her knees, Arquid turns back and fixes me with her glare. My body won't move. The instant I met her gaze, my entire body was frozen solid, as though it had been turned to stone.
冷たい女だ。死ぬ思いで駆けつけた仲間を魔眼で束縛するとは。共に死にたいという彼の忠義ぐらい受けてやってもいいだろうに。
An amused voice reverberates their walkway. The screen isn't directed at me, but the kneeling figure of Arquid.
魔眼ってなんで。
Why is Arquid using something like that against me? Even though I finally made it here.
どけ。どいてくれ、アルクエイド。
Arquid averts her gaze from me and turns to face Roa. She says nothing. She doesn't explain herself to me at all. All she does is stare at the enemy standing before her, a look of pain on her face.
なんで。なん。
I lose the ability to even speak. This is one of the effects of Arquid Mystic Eyes. I made it all the way here, and yet, I'm frustrated with myself for being so powerless, and my body, which had protested at every step of my journey here, begins to grow cold.
いいぞ、ようやく覚悟を決めたな、姫君。まったくもって静寂だ。何しろもう後がない。ここで私を仕留めなければ無残な死体は2つになるからな。それが嫌なら最後の誇りを見せるがいい。
Roa takes one step towards Arquid, then another. Each time he advances, a part of his body contorts and wrenches off. His shoulders, his stomach, his limbs. But the effects only last a moment. His body immediately restores itself, and he shows no sign of slowing down.
しかし大したものだ少年。姫君はお前を逃がすために私と差し違えることにしたらしい。だがかつての姫君なら恐ろしくもあったが、今の君はただの吸血鬼で神祖としての力も十全に発揮できない。悲しいな。胸を裂くように悲しい。そして醜い。そこまでの無様を晒すのならいっそ欲望のままに落ちていればよかったもの。
黙れ。
Arquid's voice rings out across the walkway.
一時的な物理現象の書き換え、自然現象、空間にある熱量の自由操作、神祖が持つ星の触覚としての当然の権利。まさに創造の権能だ。いかな魔術を極めようと人間ではお前たちには遠く及ばない。しかし同時にお前たちも人間には直接干渉することはできない。繁栄し、学習し、独立し、知恵ある猿として進化した人間はもうこの星とは違う分類だから。 できることといえばこうして真空を作り上げ私にあてがうことぐらいだがこれでは足りない加えて今の私はお前より優れている私にあってお前にはないものがあるからだ
Arquid stopped breathing altogether. The air she's giving off will feel incredibly dangerous, as if she's abandoned her own self to better focus on gathering her strength.
わかるだろうそう死の実体験だ私はそれを知っているがお前は知らないそれが私たちの決定的な差だ生きている限り生物は死を体験し得ないそれを知り得るのは転生者たるこの私だけの特権だ
The space around the Arquid begins to warp her with thought more and more violently. I have to stop her. I have to stop her right now. Even if it means grabbing her, spinning her around, and slapping her across the face. Because if I don't, then everything.
人は未知を本能的に恐れる生物それは超越者である神祖であろうと変わらないしかしいかに神秘を学ぼうとどれほど長寿の生物がいようと無に帰るつい本質的な死を体験することはできないお前たちは死を拒むことでその強大な力を得るが同時に弱さをも作り上げた死を避ける貴様と死を受け入れた私それがアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットとミハイル・ロア・バルダムヨンの質の違いだ私は今も人として人の時代に生きている時代から外れた亡霊に過ぎぬお前に私を罰する権利はない
I hear a cracking sound. The window lining the walkway are overlain by images of something else entirely. Can Ra not see this? This billowing wave of an energy so potent that death itself cannot trespass upon it.
「それでも私に挑むというのなら止めはしない」「身をもって1000年の代償を受けるがいい」その後はそうだなやはりこの体の目的をゆっくり果たすとしよう
The corner of his mouth twists upwards. He smiled a sharp sliver of a crescent moon. Royas finally turned to rest his gaze on me. He said that he would savor killing me, that he would follow through on the vendetta carried by his body, by Shishki.
つまらない。交渉はそれで終わりか、ゲロ。
Arque's surrounding transformed. He set far her desire have altered the blueprint carved into the memory of the planet itself, rearranging his constituent atoms, his atmosphere.
確かに、私は堕落した。
But that's okay, she declared silently. She took a steady breath, as for confirming once again in her heart that she doesn't regret it one bit.
消えろ。お前に私の指揮は殺させない。
The world is turned upside down, replaced by an unfamiliar landscape. Even from my position outside the universe she's created, I can feel an invisible pressure bearing down on me. I can even imagine the fear the Roa must feel, trapped within the space. Arquis suddenly raises her hand. My voice won't come out. This is bad. This is really bad. At this rate, she'll kill Roa. But if she does, she'll also die. The last vestige of her, barely clinging on her as it is, will be lost without a trace. Even tormented by this knowledge, I still can manage to call out to her.
そうか。これが天体をなすもの。私のパンティオン。私を堕落させた原初の位置。祝福あれ、祝福あれ、祝福あれ。間違ってはいなかった。私の理論は間違ってはいなかったのだ。
Even under the crushing weight of despair, the vampire howls ecstatically. With a look of pure contempt. She eradicates the man as for swatting an insect. When I open my eyes, Warner's body is nowhere to be seen. It was disfigured, torn to shreds, and then flattened. The walkway is back to how it looked before. It seemed that the vision I saw was only temporary. The walkway itself hasn't changed. The only difference is that now All that's left of Roa are his ankles. However, the battle is not so easily won.
まさしく魔の王、人知未だ及ばぬ空を追う天外よ。
The ankle moves. With a splashing sound, they begin to walk on their own across the sea of blood. As they move, with each step they take, they begin to regain their shape. The ankles sprout tight, the tie knit together to firm hips, and from the torso, the two arms.
だが魔術の進歩とその見業に負けてはいない。この世、術者が滅びようと発動する自動栄唱は近年において完成の域を見た。
My voice doesn't reach her. Still on her knees, Harpy no longer even bothers to lift her head.
無意味だった。初めから無意味だった。あなたの旅は800年前から無意味だった。なぜなら私にとって肉体の死など通過儀礼に過ぎず、仮にこの場でこの肉体が死滅しようと、ロアはまた人の世に帰ってくる。知るね、私こそ完全なる不老不死。私は知っている。死よ、あの闇よ、何十回とくぐり抜けたあの虚無を。危ない危ない。やはり今夜を選んでおいて正解だったな。満月でなければ足首からの蘇生などできはしまい。そして姫君、お前はこの傷からは蘇生はできない。私の爪はそこにいる男と同じ能力だからな。
My body won't move. Not even my voice will reach her in time. Having fully revived to his original state, Roa slices Arquid across the stomach. He does it effortlessly, as for simply severing a line. There is no rendering of flesh, there is no splitting of blood. Arquid crumbles to the floor.
これが死を体験した末に得た力だ。皮肉な話だが、私自身もこれの使い道はわからなかった。サンプルとして享受してくれたのは彼でね。何、コツさえつかめばどうということはない。幾度死を見てきた私にとって、物の死を読むことはそう難しくはないことだ。
Speaking in a triumphant voice, Roa kicks Arquid's body away. He sent her flying in my direction.
アルクエイド
My body moves. Arcud mystic eyes must have lost their hold over me, which will mean that their power have failed her. Shaking off the line of thought, I take her body in my arms. As soon as I pick her up, a shiver runs down my spine. Arquid's body is frighteningly cold. The heat she still managed to give off is barely lit by candle flames. I put on my glasses out of an instinctive fear. Roy is still right there in front of me. But I couldn't care less about him. Right now, all I want to do is save Arquid.
アルクエイド
I call her name. Her crossed eyelids slowly fluttered up open, as though she were waking from a deep sleep. Her chatty attitude is beginning to fray around the edge. Even so, Arquid smiled enchantedly.
何バカなこと言ってるんだお前どうしてこんな
I don't know if I'm still streaming. Seems like nothing works. I get logged on Twitch. I should check it out.